tune in if you want to hear. So we have Chad, Josh, Dmitri, and Marcus every Friday.
It's the Square Round Table.
Tune in.
It's the Square Round Table podcast. Let's have a blast. I know at work you had a long day. Just relax and tune in.
Welcome back, our Big Geeks, for another review. This time we're reviewing, as you can see on the banner, Across the Spiderverse. And as you can see in our background, for sure.
Yes, you see, we hanging out with all the different Spider-Men and women.
Yes, all of the different Spider-Men and Spider-Women of this
Spider
movie.
people.
What's
Spider
people.
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting me there.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
So
Thank
you gotta use the correct terms.
That terminology. Yeah, we're here to review the phenomenal Across the Spider-Verse movie. Short term, it was a great movie. It was an amazing movie, but we're going to tell you why it was a great movie. We'll give you all the insight, details. So, Marcus, what do you want to start? Do you want to start with characters? Do you want to do the plot? Where do you want to start off with this?
Let's just start overall with, so far from what we've gotten from these two films from this franchise, it's probably one of the best comic book trilogy movies that we've gotten in a while. And it's a complete story. And it's cool to see each character, like, their growth in each film. Like, the first film was about Miles and him, taking the leap of faith to become Spider-Man. This one was focused a little bit more on Gwen and her backstory of feeling like she's not accepted by people, that somebody she loves, so she's trying to find that family that she can be a part of and feel like she's accepted or wanted, when it turns out that she's still really not wanted there. So she has her growth. You get to see these characters, even like the other Spider-Man that came back from the last movie, Peter B. Parker.
The truest Spider-Man, by the way.
The truest, that's probably the realest Spider-Man. But he even went and had a baby, and he even told Miles, "Hey man, it was because of you. You changed my life." So it's cool to see everybody's growth and where they went. And then it's definitely cool how they made it fresh and brought in new characters. And it didn't feel like it was just like a overabundance of like main characters. Because even though we had all the different Spider people, the ones that they focused more on, it didn't feel like it was too much. And they broke it down good enough to where it wasn't too in depth. And, oh yeah, you got to know about this one because he came from here and he did this. And it flowed pretty good. Like, I know me and you were worried at first, because the closer it got, the more we kept saying, "Oh, this Spider-Man's gonna be in it. This Spider-Woman's gonna be in it. This Spider-Girl." And I was like, I hope they don't overwhelm themselves, but they seem to handle it like pretty good when they balance that out. Lord and Miller. Forgot the other director that was a part of it. It's a black guy. What's his name? It's gonna come back to me. But yeah, great direction, great storytelling, writing, great way they set up the plot. There wasn't too many plot holes. I just want to say, before we even get started on anything else, Miguel is like a prick, man. But it's not like I hate him. He was just like a big pain in the ass at the beginning. But once you get more into the movie, like why he's the way he is, but damn, man. He was giving Miles like a hard time. Jesus.
The movie, for me, when I went to see the movie, for me, Miles, the first movie, like you said, it was Miles taking a leap of faith in the first movie, Into Spider-Verse. But Across the Spider-Verse, it was Miles getting to be a part of the Spider, I guess you say, family or verse in itself, being a part of that, and realizing that he just wanted to do his own thing. He said in the movie, "I'm going to do my own thing." Him deciding what Spider-Man is to him. And I said this when I got to see it. Remember, I called Joe that Miles in a room full of spider people was the truest form of Spider-Man. He embodied what it meant to be Spider-Man for me. We don't look at the odds of anything, or we don't go, "Oh, we can't save this person because saving this person will wreck the canon." We go, Spider-Man goes to save them, no matter what, no matter the cost. He's trying to save at least one life for all of them, as much as he can. For him to look at Peter B. Parker, which we agree is the truest Spider-Man, and tell him like, what you doing, man? If you could save your uncle, I know you do it. Don't lie to me. But also, like you said about the point about there being so many Spider people being introduced, I was worried there was going to be too many chefs in the kitchen, but it wasn't. It was everybody had their piece. Everybody had their little introduction. It didn't feel like it was rushing anything. The pacing was great. Gwen's character, her arc was good. Miguel at first seemed like he was like the villain or like a sub villain, but you realize like why he's doing or why he's so hell bent on this is because he made the mistake of trying to be a part of a verse that where he died. And so he had a family there, and so he thought he could be a part of that. And that was his mistake. And he's just trying to avoid that for other people. So he's not a villain. He's just so in his own way that he can't see another option. And Miles is presenting that option of, we can do this. We can make things happen. We can change the canon. Things aren't set in stone. And as we said before, Mary Jane, which, by the way, I think this is probably the best Mary Jane. I said this before. This is probably the best Mary Jane we've gotten in her little bits. And she said this to Peter B. Parker. She was like, you change up your plan at the halftime. Pretty much, you do this, but you pretty much, if you're going one way like this, you can change it and reevaluate and go somewhere else in the other half. Because he was asking about parenting. And I love how, like, Miles' existence propelled other characters, which means to me, when I got out of the movie, I thought that he's not an anomaly. Like, his existence is meant to be. We even see this when he goes back to, was it Earth 44 or the dimension 42?
Yeah.
Where in that dimension, even if the spider would have bit Miles, because we see this in the story when Spot is talking about it. We see a character that looks like Miles about to get bit by the spider. So to me, that says that it didn't matter which Miles it was. Miles was always destined to have the spider.
Yeah, he was destined to be Spider-Man.
He's destined to be Spider-Man, no matter which way. And I feel like now that we know, because everybody, Marvel likes to tease everything, so they don't like to give us anything. We know Prowler in that verse is a vigilante, so we already know he ain't gonna be evil.
Exactly.
The steam is gone.
Yeah, we was like, oh snap, is it gonna be an evil mount? No.
So I'm assuming we're gonna get like a Batman-esque character. I feel like he's gonna be like the vigilante, like the Batman character, the darker version of that character. Like he's still going to save the day, but he's gonna be like, maybe I'm overthinking this for a little bit. Maybe I am, but he's gonna be like the person that shakes people down to get information and does it a little bit more of an anti-hero way, where his means are like not so Boy Scoutish like Spider-Man. Spider-Man would never throw somebody off a building, but I'm guessing maybe the Miles Prowler might chuck him off and catch him.
Might chuck him off and then scoop him up at the last minute.
Exactly. Because the way he talked to Miles at the end of the thing, I was like, he's not the kind little dude that's hopeful. I've seen some stuff. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to get things happening.
And it's cool because they used a whole totally different actor to play that version of Miles. I'm like, oh, that's interesting that they went that route. And I think he's actually like Dominican or something.
It makes sense though, because first his dad's dead, but that means that he had to spend more time with his mom, who speaks that language.
Yeah.
His Spanish would be very more.
You'll hear a little bit of that accent, just a little bit.
Yeah, like I say, more. It comes out more predominantly. And then we got to see a lot in this movie. Like we got to see an origin of Spot, which they actually did a good job because like they brought him in as like.
I was gonna say they stuck a lot to the source material of his background, his origin story. I was surprised how they.
I like that he's the guy that got hit with a bagel. Though.
With the bagel,
I love that they called back to the bagel. That was so funny. He's with a bagel, and I was like, "Oh, bagel guy. Okay, cool." But I think he does a really good job of being the good villain of it, and his reasons are great because he wants to be taken seriously as a villain, and that motivation made him to go seeking all this multiversal power. And I love how they connected him to everything. But Miguel, that man, I think he trademarked the grip to the head, slam down move that he did on Miles. I think he
Man.
trademarked that because my man was clawing on that little bridge, jumping up, air ball, slamming him down into the bridge. I was like, geez.
I was like, dude, take a chill pill, man.
Right? And I love all the cameos we got too. We got Donald Glover as a Prowler.
Glover.
And I love
live
that.
action. A live
I
action.
love that.
I like how they mixed that with the animation. Then we got Yuri from the game. We got his Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, we got the PS4 Spider-Man.
They got the PS4.
Yeah.
Then we got
Lego Spider-Man.
Lego, which was done by a 14-year-old kid, man. Like,
that
how
was amazing.
Freaking crazy is that?
That's
like,
so cool.
you are 14 and you get to say that you did a Spider-Man film. Like, that is crazy. Man, and it was really good too.
It was great, yeah. Like he did a really good job. I'll say some more, but we got Scarlet Spider-Man and his over emotional dramatic ass.
God, he was.
He was in there, and that was Andy. What's his name?
Sandberg.
Sandberg, yeah.
Sandberg, yeah.
I might be saying that wrong, but the guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine and stuff.
Yeah.
He did a good job because, like, I was laughing whenever he came on the screen. I was like, hell laughing because Scarlet Spider-Man would legitimately be that problem. He'd be not problematic, but he'd be that, like, emotional.
He really would.
Because think about his origin in the comics. He was, like, legitimately, he might have been a clone. He wasn't a clone. All that stuff, seeing all this stuff and dealing with all the stuff that Peter had to deal with. Uncle Ben, all stuff like that, not knowing if he's a real one. I'd be dramatic too. I'd be like, I don't know what's going on. I'm emotional. My life is tragic. I get it. It made sense. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I actually that he was emotional at first. And then like whenever he came back in his last scene before he got knocked back into the portal, that shit was hilarious.
That was funny. He fell for the bait. He fell for a hard.
And then the star of the show, besides Miles and everybody else, was Spider-Punk. Man, Spider-Punk was Hobie. He was so good.
Oh my word, man! That's a smooth operator, smooth killer. He did his thing, man.
He was so against everything. He was like, I'm not for anything. He was like, you should be careful who you make alliances with. I was like, yeah, okay, I got it.
He totally embodied the whole like punk rock thing, like rebellious. Like I'm not with the like
establishment,
I'm not with the rules and the whole order thing. Nah, man, like I ain't with it. And to the point where, because of him being that, it helped go in the end with what she needed to do because rebellious like that.
Nah,
he was probably more important than anybody else in this movie because he was like 9 miles. Hey, bro, how you say? Hey, bro, I got your back. Yeah.
No, I thought it was funny, or not funny, but funny when he was like coaching him through that last moment when he was showing like when Miguel showed him all the canon events. And he was like, hold on, let us speak. Like, he was like coaching Miles into rebelling. Like, finally giving that push to be like, no, I'm done with all this. We're cool. This is done. It is what it is. Like, but there were so many, like, say, spider people. And they even had Spider, I don't know if it's Spider Rex, but the T-Rex Spider-Man.
Oh, that was so ridiculous.
And then the Spider Cat and, all the other spider people. There were so many things.
Man, they had... When I see Spectacular Spider-Man in there, and he actually spoke in the part, I was like,
I was so...
Shout out to the OG. That's probably, for me, one of the most underrated Spider-Man animated series.
Yeah,
that
really
people don't talk about enough. And it is because it got canceled, like, early on. It was supposed to have a hella season, but it got canceled.
They got canceled.
The reason why most shows got canceled back then, toy sales and
all that stuff.
All that bull crap.
And then we got Bombastic Spider-Man, the Bagman, Bombastic Bagman.
Yeah, I think he's in the poster.
He's in the background. He's behind
Scarlet and our girl, Harder Woman, Jessica Drew. Yeah, he right there.
And then Spider-Man, I'm going to call him for the sake of this thing, Spider-Man India. All right.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I think it's right. But
Pavita Parker.
Yeah, and Mountbatten? It's like a combination of, I forget where it is.
Like India and...
it's like a combination of Manhattan. But that was really cool. And I loved his character a lot. Like, his character was very cool. And then each of the characters had their own animation style, which was very cool too.
Yeah, that was dope. And I like how they touched each other. You could see the
Kind of,
little lines or
yeah.
something. It wasn't like a smooth animation. This is probably my favorite animation style right here. And it's really changing the game because a lot of films now are starting to use this same animation.
The new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies use
Uh-huh.
it.
The Puss in Boots, the
Mhm.
movie he just did.
And I think a lot of movies now are trying to incorporate like a multiversal thing or like a dimensional thing. Because I remember seeing in theaters when I went to go see it. I think it was the new Troll movie. Is like they go through different dimensions in that
Yeah,
movie,
I seen that.
and I was like, oh, so everybody's biting that swag, man.
I was like, everybody got a multiverse now.
Right, everybody got a little multiverse because they understand Miles is versus Sales and shit. But I think, as I told you before, I think that if the third movie is good, it'll definitely be the best animated trilogy of this time.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a question to ask you: Is this movie, or is these movies, or no, is these movies depiction of Spider-Man the best depiction of Spider-Man we've gotten so far, including live actions and everything included, like we've seen in the last, let's say, decade from Toby to now? Do you think that this is the best we've gotten of Spider-Man as a character, like Peter Parker? Like, why? So do you think? Go ahead.
It's close. It's
Hmm.
real close because, man, that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Because Toby's still my boy. That's the
Yeah.
OG. But
I'll
Andrew did his thing, though, man.
I'll put it to you like this. We'll single out a single Spider person from the movie. Peter B. Parker compared to all the other Peter Parkers that we've gotten.
Oh, yeah. He's like the most relatable and
Is he the
true to
most
form.
realistic, or not realistic,
Yeah.
but the most true to the character of what Peter Parker would
Oh,
be?
yeah. He's
That's what I
he's the
wanted.
version that shows you, oh, you can mess up and be a superhero at the same time. Just because you're a superhero don't mean your life is perfect.
He's that Peter Parker is the natural conclusion of Peter doing this 20 plus years or however long he was, and
Yeah.
because we saw this in the first movie, like when Miles was like, with great power, he's like, don't even finish that line because he's like, I'm tired of hearing it. Like I'm
Yeah.
tired of hearing that. I want to. Like it's almost as if he's trapped in this great power and great responsibility. He can't put down the mask or whatever because he has this power. So he doesn't feel like he has much freedom from it. And maybe that's part of the reason why maybe he didn't want to have a family, whatever like that. I can't really do that. I got to be a part of this thing. Like I
He
have to
was
save the
using
day.
he was using that to run away from his real problems.
Yeah.
Like a coping mechanism or like an excuse to say, oh, I have to be Spider-Man. I love you, but I have to be Spider-Man. So let me go do this. This is why I can't do that. He was like, okay, I realize, you can still have these certain things to save the world because it's something to
doable.
look forward to.
Yeah.
It gives you purpose. Because he was like to the point where he was just finna just be like, I don't care anymore, and he was finna like throw himself into the collider and stuff in the first movie and sacrifice himself. It's like, no, man, we need you.
No, yeah.
Like Mary Jane needs you.
But that's legitimately the plot of Spider-Man 2. The Andrew, is it the no Andrew, the Toby Spider-Man 2, where he didn't want to get Mary Jane because he was like, I'm Spider-Man, and she was, and then I did that movie. I can do both.
And then he realized he couldn't do both. He realized real fast he couldn't do both, especially with her, because she's a pain in the
Bruh, I'll say
butt.
one thing. Like I tell you all the time, 90s Mary Jane was like the worst version of Mary Jane we've ever gotten. I tell you not. She jumped off of a building to tell him to be like, do you love me? I'm gonna jump off the side of the building to see if you'll always be there for me. I'm like,
I would have
let's
let her
not.
ass fall. I'm kidding, y'all. I'm
Yeah,
kidding. It's a
100%
joke.
kidding here, but yeah. Um,
But yeah, I just feel like with this film, like I said, it wasn't a lot that I found that was wrong with it
not
because they did
really.
everything. They did everything so well, and
Mm-hmm.
I like how the relationship is shown too with like his parents and
About that.
how he's going through that change, and he wants when you want to tell your folks something, but you really don't know how to tell them. And it makes it
Mm-hmm.
like very complicated with the relationship that you have. Y'all, everything seemed pretty cool before, but now it's man, I can't tell him because they're my parents, but at the same time, I should because they're my parents.
Also, like his dad's like a cop, so
He's working with you now, but
you
he
don't know he's
finds
working
out.
with you.
Yeah, if he finds out you're Spider-Man, he's gonna really be like on edge a lot when stuff happens. It's gonna make it harder for him to do his job.
Exactly.
You know?
And I think one thing else I like about his family is the way they represent both sides of his family. We got in the first movie, we got a lot of his dad's side with Uncle Aaron and their relationship and stuff like that. But also on the other end, we got his mom's side in this movie where they were having a roof party, and it was cool. I was like, "Yo, this is cool." I loved it. And then that moment he had with his mom on the roof when he was grounded, and then like she just told him like to come back home. I like that. I also like. I think that, and I'll say that I'll ask you again. Do you think that the movie is the best version of Miles we've gotten to date?
Yeah.
Do you think that do you think that moving forward they should more or less because I think comic book wise they have to either continue down the path they're going where it's not really going the best way of representation wise, like representing him as a character for me.
Yeah.
But I think would you want a Into the Spider-Verse or Across Spider-Verse comic book like continuation or something like that, or would you just want it to like be the movies and then like they go back to whatever?
I would rather this if it ends with the next one and that's it, and we don't ever get anything else. I'm happy with that.
Same.
End it on whatever note it ends on. I don't want any spin-offs, comic books, novels, nothing. Just end it where it's gonna be. Nah, bro, because that's when folks start messing shit up, man. And it just get too overcomplicated when it doesn't have to be. Like, we finally getting a version of Miles that's like the best version that we've gotten. Probably one of the best Spider-Man franchises, trilogies out of all of the films.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to be tarnished. That lasting image, if it's a good image, I'd rather keep it. And maybe this will like put a little heat on the people who are doing the comics and make them think a little bit more about how Miles' character should be or what he should do or not, making him wear sweatpants.
Hey, the track suit got the track suit. It'll give in. Okay, I can't even lie. It'll get into it because I can't even get into it. I don't. For all the viewers at home, we don't like the track suit with the black and pink suit. I had to really hard sell these guys on his suit in the movie. With the red line.
But it grew on me a little bit.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But it's just my thing is just because Miles is black, he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to wear these type of outfits. But that's a story for another day.
Hey! Did you see the gala outfit he wore?
That's a story. For like I said, so my biggest thing is too that what I loved about this whole franchise is that the title is not one time said Miles Morales Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man. They calling him Spider-Man.
Yep.
It's not Miles Morales. Like they finally calling him Spider-Man because he's Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like in the comic books, what does it say? Miles Morales,
Spider-Man. Miles Morales, Spider-Man.
Video game, Miles Morales, Spider-Man.
It's awkward. The video game.
It's very awkward.
In the video game, because I remember talking to you about this. We talked about it, we talked about this in a chat or whatever like that. And I'm sitting there listening to the trailer, and they're saying Spider-Man. I'm like, which one?
Yeah.
And then I think we talked about this too. Is the reason that I think that they messed up, or they did mess up with his character and stuff like that, is they brought him to the 616 universe and instead of keeping him alone in the Ultimate Universe, where he could just be the only Spider-Man.
He could be
yeah, so it wasn't confusing. Like he got the mantle passed, however you feel about that is your own thing, whatever, keep yourself. But he was the only Spider folk of that verse, so he was Spider-Man. That's all they knew. There wasn't Peter Parker Spider-Man, Gwen Stacy or not Gwen Stacy. I'm gonna say a different. I don't know a different person right off the top of my head, but Scarlet Spider-Man or Ben Reilly Spider-Man or Spider-Man or whatever. It was just him. So if now that they brought the Ultimate Verse back, hopefully they go back to just him being Spider-Man of the Ultimate Universe and just keep him there. because there was just so many inconsistencies comic book wise for why Miles isn't a part of some story that Spider-Man goes on that you're just like, where's Miles? Why is Miles not here? He's like down the street. Like he's y'all both in the same area.
Man, let me tell you something. All I know is, all I know is, don't drag this out. And it has to be like I'm hoping it's a 1, 2, 3, and that's it.
I think it is a 1, 2, 3. I
Yeah,
don't think they're gonna have anything more from. I think
I
they
don't
said
need.
they confirmed that they're tired, so they're gonna stop. You're gonna stop
Yeah,
doing.
cause
And yeah,
that
that
take
takes.
a lot to do. Them
Uh huh.
animated films,
Hey
boy,
man,
that is not an easy job
it's
to
not
do.
with all of them having different animation styles and stuff like that within a movie. Hey, they deserve a break or be done. I'm
Yeah,
cool with it.
so and
Just
the
end it
fact
on a
that
good
we
note,
getting
and
the
we
next
cool.
one, the fact that we getting the next one next year, that
Well,
should
I think
tell
they
you
said they
how
were pushing
hard
it
that they
back.
work.
I heard they were pushing it back a little bit.
Yeah, they pushed it back like I think a month and a half or something like that. But
Oh,
it's
okay.
still next
I didn't
year.
know how
Yeah,
much,
it's
but
still
like I
next
knew
year.
that they were
Yeah.
pushing
So
it
the
back.
fact that we getting that like so back to back like that's phenomenal.
It is.
Shout out to all the people, my peoples who be working behind the scenes. I know the struggle. It's
They
real,
did
man.
that movie. I came out of that movie. I rating wise, I want to give it like a perfect score, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm gonna probably give it probably a 9 or 9.5.
Yeah, I give
Just
it a
be,
9.
just because not because it ended because I knew it was a part one to part two, but
Yeah,
I actually no. That's the reason why I'm gonna give it a 9 or 9.5 because I wanted more at the end of the movie.
yeah,
I think that was it, but I don't know. I don't think I think I just have a thing where I don't really rank movies like 10. I've never
yeah.
ranked a movie a 10 out of 10, no matter how much I
Oh,
liked
this,
it. Oh,
yeah,
but me rating wise, I'll probably give it a 9.5. No, I'll give it a 9 because
yeah.
it was good,
Yeah,
and
I think a 9 is a fair score.
I think it's a solid score. I think we gave the last movie Flash 7, and we gave Transformers an 8 or 8.5 or maybe even a 9.
Man, the more I sit on the Flash, their rating go down
Yeah, a little bit. I ain't gonna hold you.
just a
It's just
little bit.
a
But
little
nah,
bit.
we talking about the Spiderverse,
We
so
talk
we
about
ain't even gonna go on that.
we
Yeah,
talk about the superior movie. We talk about the better
yeah,
movie here. We're not talking about that. But I'm excited for the one thing I got to talk about before we wrap it all up because I remember the gripe I have. Jessica
yeah,
Drew, the character Jessica Drew, I did not like how she just wasn't on the team. Like she just wasn't on the team the whole movie. She
yeah,
was like, I'm over here on this team. I'm like, you come to our side. We have the greater opinion. You want to. Like we could tell the sway in her the entire like movie. But I always found her character, like for her decisions to be
yeah,
like annoying sometimes because she would get in the way of people doing what was right for Miguel. And I was
yeah.
like,
I almost feel like she was just there sometimes.
I agree.
Yeah.
She was there to like echo
And
them.
I hate it because that's a character that I like.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I feel about them making her pregnant, but I get why they did it because they followed the storyline
Yeah,
in comic books.
I
But
understand it, but
yeah, I get it.
maybe that's why she was. I don't know. I was gonna say
And
maybe
see
that's why.
that just makes you feel like it puts you in an uncomfortable place because you don't want to say anything bad because it's like I'm not trying to say pregnant women can't fight to be
Yeah,
superheroes, but at the same time it's just maybe that's why she wasn't there. So I get it.
exactly. That's
Or
why I was like
so
trying to
yeah, it
like.
was a tight
I was
spot.
trying
Yeah,
not to be like, because to be honest, it's cool. Whoever wants to be a superhero, if you want, a pregnant person wants a spider, be a spider folk. That's cool. It
yeah,
is what it is. I get it. But
yeah.
maybe that's why that she wasn't. She was just like an echo board for Miguel's point
Mm,
because
but she still did her thing,
oh, she
carrying the
did.
whole
Yeah,
person, to carry a
yeah,
whole person inside of you and
yeah.
still be able to do what she did.
She was
Hey
on that
man,
motorcycle spinning around in that scene
look,
with the webs and whatnot, just going and kicking butt with
yes,
medieval vulture.
man, which was dope. That was a dope
That was a
vulture,
cool
man.
one.
I like how
Yeah,
they did that, like
that
how
was
he looked at
cool.
stuff like the Vinci
Yeah, the Da
sketches and
Vinci
stuff. That was
sketches.
dope.
I
That
wasn't
was dope.
sure before going into the movie because I was like, oh, we're getting another villain. I was like, how's it gonna balance everything out? But it was
Yeah,
a subtle part. It wasn't. It took what like 5, 6 minutes, and it was gone. And I was like, okay, cool. And I'm glad that they didn't have any more other villains that were like different versions or whatever like that in this one because we had a lot going on in the movie, and we
Nah,
really
we
didn't need
definitely
that.
did.
But I will say this: I did that they beefed up Spider-Man 2099. I actually vibed with it heavy. Like when I saw it animated, I was like, okay. And those
Dude,
like those dorky long claw things he had on his thing, they worked.
man, he looked so intimidating,
He
man. Like
did, yeah.
then that music they played, he would come in, when he
Like that,
would.
yeah.
I know that doesn't sound like it, but
Hey, that
that's
was pretty
just,
good. That was pretty good.
hey,
I'll give you that. That was pretty good. I heard it. I
it's
heard
the nasal congestion. It helped me
it.
hit that note the right way.
And then I do a lot of go back to Miles, Prowler Miles. I liked his whole look. His whole getup was nice.
Yeah, I like
I
how he
like
had
that mask. I like
the
he.
plaits. Shout out to the long head on
Hey,
Ken.
he pulled out the ones. You knew if you're
Hey,
the Miles, you had to pull out the ones, right?
God, I don't know why you do this, Dimitri.
You know I had to. I had to. I
That's
was
like the
there.
goat. That's like the signature shoe now of Miles Morales. It's the
The
ones.
ones.
It's the ones in the movie, the Adidas and the Insomniac game, and then
Oh yeah.
I don't know what the hell it be in the comics because I don't even read the comics. They probably be
Uh,
giving him like Tim's and some designer shoes or
hey, they
some
did
shit.
in the game. They gave him the proto suit had Tim's on.
See, that's what I'm. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, it's a leap of faith, and he's Tim's.
Man, yo, leap the fate. Your toes gonna be hurting. And Tim's. Shoot. Let me stop, bro.
Nah, keep it going, dude. I want to hear the. I want to get the moment.
Nah, cause bro, every time I think about Tim's, I think about that, and then I think about that what if shit with Thor
Hey, that
By Odin's
by
fade.
Odin Fade. Hey, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Let's unpack that. Nah, that's a whole other podcast. Unpacking there. You're holding your tongue real well, dude. I already see it on your face. You want to let in.
Hey man,
It's my job to ask the questions that make you want to do that.
hey, Dimitri be trying to push my buttons, y'all, as y'all see. I ain't let him. I ain't
Hey
let him do
man.
it tonight. If I felt 100%, then yeah, I would go
All
for it.
right, that cold
Yeah,
saved you today.
let's save me today. I'm trying to save all my energy.
By Odin's Fade.
God, that's awful writing, bro. That's awful.
This my hood.
No lie, I thought we was gonna see that version of Miles. No, I'm kidding. I knew we
Nah.
wasn't gonna see that. I just
Hey man, we might see it in the third one, bro. They might go to a Miles verse where it's all Miles.
nah, man. They care about this movie. They actually care about the character. They actually care
They
about
actually do.
it. Yeah.
And then we got in the end of the movie. We can definitely we definitely want to talk about the end of the movie where we got all of our OG characters from the first
They
one back.
came back.
And
Yeah,
then
so
we got a new the Spider-Man. Like it's apparently
yeah,
it's more like
because
the
remember
comics.
how the old one it was all messed up and stuff.
They said it's more like the
So
comics or whatever like that, and I was like, that's
so I'm
cool.
guessing that means Nick Cage might be back now for the next
Hey,
one.
I'm down. I'm down for it.
Yeah.
Spider-Man
So
Noir is he's one of my favorite spider people because he's Thomas Wayne Batman. He used the gun.
huh. I think it's cool how they did that full circle where they brought them back because it's okay. This is how we started it, and this is how we're
How
gonna
we
end
gonna
it
end it?
together.
Yeah.
We're gonna end it together the same way we started. So I think that's cool, and I think we might get a little showdown, a little Civil War like showdown with that
Hey,
team and Miguel's team. So that'll be cool too.
I wonder who's gonna be on his team. I know he's gonna have Scarlet on his team for sure. He's gonna have Jessica Drew.
Yeah, he gonna have
Uh,
just
who else he
who
gonna
else?
have though? Who else can he? Because he can't call Spider Punk. Spider Punk didn't even mess with him before the break off. Really, here's the thing. I don't even think Miguel need a squad of five. I think he could just handle most of them by himself. I
I'm
think he's
saying
like
if he
a.
got him and his, he probably have two more spider people.
I
You
feel
know.
here's the thing. He making light work of a couple of them right off the bat. He's buffed out. The way he threw Miles on the ground, I was like, yeah, there ain't many people that are getting out of that grip slam
Yeah.
combo. Nah,
Hey
it'd be
man,
cool if Miles give him
I'm going with
that
Spider Pig for the win. though. He gonna take the
hammer. You
win.
gonna get that? What's it called? Hammer space or what do they
Yeah.
call it? Where you pull the
Uh huh.
the stuff out of just anywhere.
Uh huh. He gonna knock him,
Come
uppercut him.
on.
I'm interested though to see like how Spider's gonna be because like he didn't turn like straight evil because like that way he looked at the end with the black. with the white spots. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
he finna be a problem. He finna be a problem.
I feel like
So-
they just gonna have to just team up. They're gonna team up. What they're
They're
probably
gonna
gonna do is
have
they're gonna fight each other for the first little bit. Then they're gonna get these like differences. They're gonna find out that Miles is gonna come back and be like, "Hey, yo, I came from the verse and I'm a hero still over
Yeah.
there. I just
'Cause
didn't get bit by a spider."
I even think it's gonna have the way it's gonna start probably is with Miles and on Earth 42 with
Mhm.
the other Miles Morales, and I think he's gonna have to help him. Because remember they was talking about like a Sinister Six,
The Sinister
kinda
Six
like-
cartel.
yeah, cartel.
Yeah.
And I would love to see what
Oh
that is
man.
like. I would
I
love
wonder-
to see that.
I wonder if like we're gonna get something that's inspired by Noir's verse, like where they're all like
Yeah.
they're gang members, but like the Vulture's like a cannibal and stuff like that. Like we're getting all these
Like,
different.
that'd be interesting.
That'd be cool. Or some new people. I know we're probably getting Hammerhead for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think
Tombstone's
he
gonna
would
be there for sure.
Yeah. I think we will finally get Rhino.
Oh yeah, we getting Rhino
Yeah,
for sure.
Rhino.
Or are we getting Scorpion? Scorpion? No.
We had him in the first one.
I don't think we need to we probably get
Yeah.
a
I want to
get
see
a Venom.
Shocker.
Oh, Shocker would be cool. That's perfect. Yeah, Shocker's perfect. Yeah.
And I want to see a Green Goblin like that's the actual Green
Oh,
Goblin. That's not
yeah.
like
Or,
the mutated one or
Oh, we can
Hobgoblin.
get I was gonna say we can get a Hobgoblin. I'd kill for a
Yeah.
Hobgoblin.
I'd rather see Hobgoblin because Hobgoblin was a little bit more like the
He
Joker.
was
He
more
was a little
crazy,
bit
but
more
he had
so, yeah.
he had the flame in. I think he had the flame in like glider and all that stuff. Like he was dope.
Yeah.
We
So,
get him, so that's like what 3 we missed off already so far. No, 4. I'm trying to think of 2 other people that we need to see because we can get maybe I wouldn't say a Spider Slayer because that'd be a little too much. Spider Slayer would be a little too much for that.
probably Sandman.
Sandman for sure. Yeah, Sandman.
I would love to see Sandman in that animation.
Sandman
Animated style.
and the cartel style will be dope.
Yeah.
We already got Vulture like already, so I don't think we're gonna see him anymore. I'm trying to think of it because we already got Doc Ock, so I'm not trying to use that character either.
Yeah.
And I know we're not gonna get a Venom because that'd be too much to handle. Well,
Yeah.
that'd be a little too much to handle.
I would say probably they might do Craven.
I was trying to think of that. Yeah, Craven.
They might do Craven.
Craven would be nice. In
Yeah,
that
they
style
might do
for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but I have a feeling at the end of the day they about to make light work at least of a lot of them because this is a powered up Miles, and he can handle a lot of those powered heroes. And I guess because Prowler doesn't have any powers, he's got tech. He's legitimately Batman. He's like a Batman character. He ain't got no powers. He got a lot of cool tech.
And he got his Uncle Aaron helping him.
Hey, Uncle Aaron's Alfred. He's the guy in the chair.
Uncle Aaron he got to put some hands in there too. You know what I'm saying?
He's the OG Prowler.
Yeah, because
He
he a
gonna put
little
the
bit
suit
more
back on.
seasoned. Yeah, he a little
gonna put
bit more seasoned.
The way that he punched that punching bag, though, I was like, yeah, man, I was like, man, when I saw that, I was
Miles
like,
was done.
I thought so too, and I was like, dang, because this is what I thought. I was like, this Uncle Aaron ain't nice like the other one, where the other one wouldn't even put hands on Miles like that, or someone that looked like Miles.
He was mad about his brother. Whatever happened to his brother, he ain't letting it go.
And I thought, like, when he said his dad was still around in his verse, that they'd be like willing to help him out, but they were like, so what?
Nope, that ain't
I was like, what?
Try again.
Try
again.
So what? I was like, I'm in danger.
So I guess it's safe to say that, okay, I know you gave it a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
But what would you give the voice acting on it?
Are we talking about the voice actor of all of them?
No, just the whole overall voice acting.
Oh, they got perfect marks, man. They did a really good job.
I get it. I get a voice actor 10 out of 10.
There's not a single part. Everybody brought their A game to the role. Even the new character who played Spider-Man India, he brought his A. I was surprised in how good it was. I didn't know how much he had done before that or whatever. This is his first one, but he did a good job. They cleaned it up a little bit more when I saw it in the movie because it was a little bit more cleaner in the movie. When that part came up, they had more time to clean up his and polish it a little bit more. But everybody did a good job. Spot did a good job. Everybody did.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. on the voice acting. They brought the right elements to each and every character. Everybody's character had their own emotional spectrum. There
Yeah.
weren't the same people that were responding the same way to certain things. Like you could tell their sadness from the difference between the sadness from Peter B. Parker talking to Miles and Gwen talking to him. There was two different like sadness or different like emotional beats to it. Like hers was more like you could tell, hey, I don't have many people that I call friend anymore. Don't do this crap. Don't leave.
Yeah.
And then Peter B. Parker was like, hey, he was trying to be like the hopeful, trying to steer him back, trying to mentor him, still trying to bring him back into the fold. But he knew that Miles wasn't going to take him up on it. He had, I could tell, like he was like trying to convince him, but he knew.
I was like, man, I'm going to say my dad bump y'all, man.
Because here's the thing, like if anybody put in Miles' shoes would have went to go save him. Anybody, Peter B. Parker, Miguel, Gwen, for sure.
All of them.
She got lucky though, because her cop person didn't. Her dad stopped being a cop. Technically, he doesn't have to die because he's not that cop role. So I don't know how the canon rule works, but I think now that he's not a cop anymore, I think she doesn't have to worry about him dying.
I'm with Miles, man. Bump the canon rules, man.
I'm with him too. I'm with him too. I'm like I told you, Miles, the truest Spider-Man in the entire room of Spider people.
Because he cares about people's lives.
And doesn't care about the consequences of the actions that he takes. I'm going to say first, think about the consequences afterwards. And that's how Spider-Man has always been. He puts himself in danger with all kind of villains just to save somebody's life. Just to stop a villain from taking innocent lives. That's what Spider-Man does.
Hey, he just said the closing out remark right there.
Hey,
that's how you do it. So with that beautiful saying by Dmitri, we're safe to say that here at the Square Round Table, we give this film a whopping 9. You gonna go with 9? 9 out of 10? Or you want to go 9.5?
I'm gonna go 9.5. I'm gonna give that.
Let's do it. 9.5 out of 10. Out of 10 for Across the Spiderverse, the second installment in the trilogy of the multiverse film, starring Miles Moore, it's Milesmorales, Haley Steinfeld is Gwen Stacy. You got Oscar Isaac is Spider-Man 2099, and plethora of talented voice actors that's behind them. But it's also directed by Joaquin Dos Santos, Kemp Powers, and Justin K. Thompson. And of course, Lord and Miller did their thing, writing it again as they always do. I love them, especially how they bring the comedic side to all of the stuff that they do. I like how they do that. So I really think as a whole, it was a great film. It touched on emotions. It gave you action, story, beautiful animation, and we can't wait. We're looking forward to the next installment next year. 2024 can't get here any faster. As much as we would hate to see it end, we are looking forward to seeing the end. Y'all ain't have to leave us on that much of a cliffhanger, but we'll deal with it because it's only a year. So we ain't got to wait 2-3 years again. With that being said, this is another review from Demetrius and myself. And Demetrius take us out with our little shameless promotional.
If you want to watch this podcast, you can watch it on YouTube and hit the like button, subscribe button, hit the notification bell on the right video so you get notified of this video and the future videos. And you can watch it on fandomlim.com at squareroundtablepod.fandomlim.com. You can watch it on Rap Nerd on Thursdays. Follow us on all our socials, Instagram, Facebook group, and Twitter.
Come talk to us, please.
And with that, it's been the Square Roundtable podcast, and I'm your host, Demetrius.
And I'm your host, Marcus Long. And also, before we go, check out our other reviews on Transformers Beast Wars
and Flash, which the Flash has been loaded right now, but the Transformers
is coming soon.
Coming
be the next to come out. So go check those out. Let us know what you think. Talk to us, comment, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Let's just have a fun time talking. Shout out to all our fellow podcasters in the Blurred Nation out there. Much love, and we out.